the last question I had asked was whether I should or could afford to take a break, whether it was, ruining my chances of making it as an artist by taking a break. And you always hear those, those crazy artist success origin stories where it's like an artist went 2 years straight without going outside, and he just made art and ate ramen noodles, and somehow the rent was still paid during this period. And then he came outside finally at the end of the 2-year stint or sentence, and they did a solo show, and that solo show blew up because the story of their dedication was just so epic and incredible. And it's like, okay, those are great stories. I wish I had that story. I wish I could lock myself in a room and ignore the world for 2 years, but I just can't do that. And even, I don't know if, sometimes I wish it, and sometimes I'm like, I don't think you would want to do that. Like, life is about balance. You gotta mix the living with the creating, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just be living and not working, or working and not living. Like, there's gotta be a balance. But yeah, it's like, that's a great origin story or whatever, but it doesn't have to be yours. It doesn't have to be mine. The truth of the matter is we can't all have that same backstory. Like, Batman and Spider-Man are both, great superheroes that everybody loves with very different origin stories. You gotta live your own story, whatever it may be. If doing art for 3 hours a night at your own pace is what you can afford to do right now, or what your time and what your schedule allows you to do right now, then so be it. Like, don't work yourself up. Keep doing you. The time will come for you as long as you're consistent with the process that works best for you. And I mean, at least that's what I believe. This self-care piece taught me to enjoy the journey and to be excited by it. And if my journey leads to being successful as an artist at 50, then, so be it. Be the flyest 50-year-old with the dopest portfolio of work the world has seen. And I'm gonna be wearing my designs as I am now. Hey. And, I'm gonna just be fire. Like, that's what I'm gonna be. Like the artists that give up by 30 because it didn't work out in their 20s just aren't about it. I mean, I guess if you're... And who knows, we might see a 50-year-old rapper blow up. But but we ain't talking about rap. I think it's still acceptable to, be pursuing visual arts even when you're old. But, if you rapping and you 46 and, the right mixtape hasn't come yet, give up, my G. I'm sorry. Or start making paintings, that might work better for you. I don't know. I'm just playing. But, I mean, the moral of the story here, I've been about this life, since I was 7 years old, telling my dad that he wasn't tracing my Batman action figure correctly. And I'm not stopping, and neither should you. This just went motivational. Book me for your high school motivational speech pep rally, if you'd like. Maybe one day. Anywho, I'm not stopping, neither should you. That is what this self-care piece taught me about myself. That is the effect of some good self-care practices. To each is... Find your self-care practices, sleep in, take a break, go out to eat, play some video games, watch TV. Don't be ashamed of your break. Enjoy it. Recharge, reassess what you're trying to do as an artist, and I think you'll thank yourself for it.
If you made it this far, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at MahmudTheMedium to see progress on all of my ongoing art projects. If you're wondering if my work is for sale, guess what? It is. Check out my store on Etsy. My links will be in the description below.